guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you our antique booth sales for May. So this is the only second video I've done so far of our booth sales. We've had a booth since November of last year. So last time I did a video, I pretty much told you the prices that I will say are going to be the prices that were on the ticket. That doesn't include the 10% off that we offer all the time, sales tax, anything like that. I remember saying in my last video I was going to try and make sure I have more clearer, better pictures of everything I'm putting in so that, you know, next time I do one of these videos, my pictures look a little better. I kind of failed slightly on that. I have a couple pieces that I couldn't find pictures of, and then, you know, just some pictures still really weren't all that great. So let's just get straight into it. One of the first things was actually a very large bowl. This was by Shannon Crystal. It was like a blue and clear, almost like a fruit bowl, I guess you could say. I had a ticket price of that for $29. So that sold. I have a picture of all three of them set up. I sold every single one of these peacock trinket boxes. I actually think a subscriber purchased maybe two of these, I want to say, in the booth. So all three went, but not, you know, all at the same exact time, and they were at $8. Also in this picture, I will just include it because that also sold as well. It was an Eldrith pottery birdhouse that sold for $60. Also sold a Wisconsin pottery pitcher. This sold for $49. Sell a lot of paperweights and things like that. A lot of glass. A lot of glass leaves our booth. This one was a teapot shaped paperweight that sold for $13. I sold a funny looking corn on the cob figure for $9. I had four different vegetables, like anthropomorphic vegetables in. Corn on the cob's the only one that sold so far. Sold both of the butterfly paperweights you see in this picture, and they were $16 a piece. We sold one of our Norman Brum birds. Eric just put in some small single guys. This one was just a little chickadee, and he sold for $85. Sold a Fenton swung vase for $98. I'm pretty sure this one was a milk glass. We also sold this next picture, every single fish in this picture, I'm pretty sure sold. Just these glass fish that we had. So there was a green and yellow kind of swirl fish that sold for $9. A blue glittery fish that sold for $10. Then we also had a pink glass fish that sold for $10. A blue and white fish that sold for $9, a little small green fish that sold for $7. So I think that was everything in that picture. We also sold, this actually took a while to sell, but it was this large pottery jug kind of crock. It was made by, the company was called Dipple. That sold for $110, so that one was a good one to go. Let's see. Sold an amber hobnail fairy lamp for $40. I sold that large lady head weird looking face planter for $25. This next picture is absolutely horrible. I apologize, but it was a vintage hors d'oeuvre set wood. Had a salt and pepper shaker on either side, and then the hors d'oeuvre picks in the center. That sold for $10. We sold a butterfly terrarium for $17. That's the second terrarium to sell. We still have one in the booth, and we actually put another one in, so hopefully those will go as well. Also sold a cloisonne butterfly trinket dish for $24. a Kanawa amber glass vase for $39, an Ellie Smith vase for $35, a little cat coming out of a boot. It was a little toothpick holder that sold for $9. Let's see, what else do we have? I had 2 Neil the Frog canisters put in. Only one has sold so far. It was the smaller one, and that sold for $25. We sold a Viking amber compote bowl for $29. Then someone came in and purchased like pretty much the entire shelf that you're seeing here of fairy lamps that we had. So there was a Viking glass blue Paul Revere lantern shaped fairy lamp that sold for $79. They purchased both of the Potbelly stove fairy lamps. One was red and then the other one was like a smoky gray color. Those were $95 a piece. Then there was a red glass Paul Revere lantern fairy lamp, sold for $69, and then the brown one sold for $75. We sold a glass speckled rooster. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of this. It sold very quickly for $14. Same way with this next item. I don't have a picture, but it was a glass duck that sold for $14. We also sold a Fenton Valencia vase for $20. This weird anthropomorphic looking mushroom pottery piece. I don't know. It was very weird. I had to have it, and apparently someone else did too. It sold for $9. A little tiny blue and white ceramic cat. I had this on kind of like my Asian inspired shelf. That sold for $9. And then I also don't have a picture of this next item, which was another paperweight, and it had dolphins inside of it. That sold for $14. So that is pretty much everything we sold for May. I think it was a pretty decent month, which surprised me because I was hearing that May is usually a pretty slow month, but I still think it was a decent month considering. As far as this month, June, it's still early in the month, so it's hard to say, but I also heard June is also kind of, you know, very, very slow. So we have had a couple of sales so far in June, but not anything too crazy. But really, it only seems to take like a couple of like higher price items that sell to really bump up the numbers for the month. You know what I mean? You know, I think we have a pretty fair mix of some pricier stuff, but also extremely affordable stuff as well. And like I've said before, we're constantly running a 10% off sale. For Memorial Day, we did bump it to 15% off for Memorial Day weekend. We had a couple of sales through that period. And we'll probably do that again come the holidays, like Black Friday and that kind of thing. So like I said, each month until we hit November, because last November is when we first started our booth, each month has been kind of like our first month of that particular month. So it's still a lot to learn, a lot to, you know, see what's selling for us and what necessarily isn't moving as quickly and that kind of thing. I feel like it's gonna constantly be a learning thing, just because, you know, even trends come and go. So, you know, it's really fun though. Eric and I are having so much fun with it. I wasn't able to go in today because I was working on getting the videos together that I was going to be filming and editing for the day, but he did take in a couple of pieces, and some of those pieces were like uranium pieces and things like that. So if you follow our antique booth On Facebook, we will be we post pictures when we like put new stuff in. Not all the time, but typically there will be pictures of new stuff when it goes in. So that link is always down in the description box. So if that's something that, you know, if you're local and you're curious to see what we're putting in, or if you're just, you know, you might have a booth yourself and you're just curious what we're putting in our booth and things like that, then go ahead and give that page a follow. Like I said, the link is in the description box. So that is May's booth sales. So we'll see how June fares out. Like I said, I think we've sold a couple of things so far for the month of June. And it just seems like, and I know we have that big glass case and we have a lot of glass, but it seems like glass is selling so much more and so much more quicker than just other stuff that's non-glass, if that makes sense. Because we have plenty of stuff in our booth that is not glass, but a lot of the glass is what sells. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that because I like picking it up. And we are always trying to find some good stuff to stick in the booth as far as glass goes. You know, when we're out sourcing, it's like always front and center in our minds, like finding glass for our booth. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you thought down in the comments if you are enjoying these videos. I will probably continue to make them. And hopefully, like, as time goes by, I will have better pictures and pictures of everything instead of some of these grabbier pictures that I have that are popping up along here. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.